Self-doubt is a quiet storm. It rarely announces itself. It rarely raises its voice. It simply slips in through the smallest crack in your confidence, and suddenly, everything you built, everything you believed, everything you thought you were ready for, begins to tremble, not because you are weak, but because your mind is replaying a story you didn't even realize you had memorized. A story about limits, a story about fear, a story about not being enough. But what if self-doubt is not an enemy you must destroy, but a messenger you must finally learn to understand? Because beneath every hesitation, beneath every what if I fail, and every I'm not ready, there is something deeper, a misunderstanding of your own strength. Today, we explore 3 Stoic sentences that have survived centuries because they interrupt this exact misunderstanding. 3 lines that can silence self-doubt, not by force, but by clarity. And clarity is the true antidote to fear. Let's begin. The first sentence is simple. You are disturbed not by events, but by your interpretation of them. Self-doubt does not grow from the world outside you. It grows from the meaning you attach to the world inside you. When someone criticizes you, you interpret it as proof you're not good enough. When you fail once, your mind insists, this is who you are forever. When you try something new, you imagine everyone is watching, waiting for you to collapse. But none of this is truth. It is only interpretation. A lens your fear keeps polishing. A lens you have the power to put down. Michael understood this the day he froze before a presentation. His supervisor didn't yell, didn't shame him. She simply said, "It seems you care a lot about getting this right." Yet his mind twisted it into, "You're not capable. You've disappointed everyone." It wasn't the moment that broke him. It was the meaning he painted over it. When he learned this Stoic sentence, something shifted. He began asking, what actually happened? What did I add to it? And slowly, the fear lost its grip, not because he became fearless, but because he became fair in how he interpreted himself. The second Stoic sentence is sharper. If it is within your control, there is no need to worry. If it is not, worry is useless. Self-doubt thrives in the space between desire and control. You want to succeed, but you cannot control the outcome. You want approval, but you cannot control how others see you. You want certainty, but life does not grant certainty. So your mind fills the empty space with fear. Emily lived inside that space for years. Every new opportunity felt dangerous. Every compliment was temporary. Every setback was permanent. She kept telling herself, I'm scared because I don't want to fail. But the Stoics would disagree. She wasn't scared of failure. She was scared of the things she could not control. Once she separated the two, her effort from the outcome, her self-doubt began dissolving, because you cannot doubt yourself when you are focused only on the part that belongs to you, your effort, your direction, your character. Everything else is not yours to carry. Before we move deeper, pause with me. You've heard 2 sentences already, but the third is the one that changes identity. And at the end of this video, there's a shift waiting, a way to see self-doubt, not as a flaw, but as an essential part of becoming disciplined. Stay with me, and if this journey resonates, you're watching in a Stoic, a place for those who walk the quieter path, not because it is easy, but because it is true. Now, let's continue. The third Stoic sentence is the one people resist the most. You are stronger than you think, and capable of more than you assume. Not because it sounds hopeful, but because it sounds earned. Self-doubt convinces you that strength must be proven before it can be believed. But the Stoics reversed this. Strength must be believed before it can be proven. You cannot lift a weight you refuse to touch. You cannot live a life you refuse to attempt. John learned this during a moment that seemed small, but changed him completely. He wanted a career shift. He studied quietly, prepared quietly, dreamed quietly, and doubted loudly. Every day he told himself, others can do it. I'm not built like them. But one evening, his mentor asked, how do you know your limits if you've never met them? John realized he had been living inside a map he didn't draw, a map drawn by fear, not ability. And so he tested his limits, not recklessly, but intentionally. Small steps, small proofs, small confirmations that his fear had exaggerated the truth. And as he expanded his actions, his identity expanded with them, because self-doubt cannot survive in the presence of evidence. You don't eliminate self-doubt by force. You weaken it by living in a way that contradicts it. But the Stoic core is deeper than these sentences. Self-doubt is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is forming. Growth feels like doubt because you haven't yet acquired the memories that prove you can do this. Courage feels like fear because you haven't yet experienced what happens when you act anyway. Strength feels like uncertainty because your mind hasn't yet updated its understanding of who you are becoming. The feeling is not the truth, it is the threshold, and every threshold is meant to be crossed. Here is the insight I promised at the beginning. Self-doubt doesn't disappear when you finally achieve something. It disappears when you finally understand that doubt is not a verdict. It is a visitor. You do not need to obey. You can greet it, listen to it, learn from it, and still choose the direction that honors your potential instead of your fear. This is the Stoic shift, not the removal of doubt, but the refusal to be governed by it. So the next time your mind whispers, I'm not ready, answer with clarity. I will become ready by stepping forward. The next time you hear, I might fail, respond, failure is not an identity, it is feedback. And the next time you feel that familiar tightening in your chest, that hesitation about who you are or what you can do, remember, you are stronger than your first thought, calmer than your first emotion, and more capable than your past has allowed you to see. If this message speaks to you, leave a comment below. Tell me the sentence you needed most today. And if you want more of this inner discipline and this quiet strength, walk further within a Stoic.